going to read my description of this award. Now, I realize some of you have heard this same description for several years, but I think it's worth listening to again. This is the 28th year that I've given this award, and it's one of my favorites. I watch for whom I think could win this award from the very first day of practice and throughout the entire season. And it's something that Bob and I talk about, no telling how many times. The Jefferson Award originated in 1980 after a story was published in Swimming World. Now they call it Splash Magazine. The story described a guy in college who had never been a swimmer, and he didn't start until his sophomore year in college. He was, to be honest, pretty pitiful and really only started because his college team had very few people and he needed a physical education credit. This particular college team usually finished last in their conference, a conference they were in only because of their football and basketball teams. So it wasn't very difficult to join the team. Warm bodies were always welcome. At first, he was your typical beginner. His strokes were rough and he had absolutely no endurance. He would often return to his dorm room and pass out after practice. Flip turns were impossible, and butterfly was totally out of the question. Quote, he thought alternate breathing was something used in childbirth, and he guessed that negative splitting was what chlorine did to your hair. In spite of this, he had great team spirit and he worked hard. He became obsessed with one thing, and that was to improve. This attitude eventually spread to the other members of the team. The article went into quite a few details, but to make a long story short, in his senior year, 3 years later, he was selected as the team captain. He became a conference champion in the 100 freestyle, and he led his team to win their first ever conference championship title. The Jefferson Award is to go to a swimmer who has just completed their first year of competitive United States swimming, someone who has exemplified the same attitude and spirit. There are no age requirements for this award. One of the first Highbridge members to win this award was a young boy named Nathan Mold, who unfortunately had to move to Pennsylvania when his father graduated from the seminary. Megan Klein, a winner of this award when I coached Brook Hill, went on to win a gold medal in the Barcelona Olympics in 1992. Chris Lewis won this award 16 years ago. Other past winners include the 5 that you see standing here: Mitchell Cooper, Stroman Breeding, Emily Peck, Drew Sutphin, and last year's winner, Kara Hall, a very classy group of individuals. This year's winner is a 7-year-old girl. If you look at her improvement since the first day of September through the end of the season, she's a good choice. But there's so much more to this than her progress. Bob and I knew by the time the Kettering meet rolled around that she was our choice. Every day she would walk across the deck with her beautiful little Chinese smile, carrying all of her swim gear, which was bigger than she was. All of the older kids always noticed, and you could tell that she wanted to be there. She wanted to practice. When we watched her race, you could see the fire and a neat little competitive spirit. She has been the perfect combination of everything that I read about. We are so happy to have her join our team. She has brought smiles to our faces almost every day. She couldn't be here tonight because she is in China as we speak, but I'm proud to announce this year's Jefferson Award winner, Lillian Sisler.